Hi, I'm Claire and this is my husband Nick. We met in an online chat room in 2001 and ended up getting married in 2006. We're a fairly normal, hard-working couple. We love travelling and enjoying a drink or two. In early 2020, we decided we wanted a whole new life-changing challenge. So we said goodbye to our jobs. We sold our Wiltshire farmhouse. We packed up our things and made the move to France. In early 2001, I went back to the UK to finalise our house sale and pick up my Aga. I was on Facebook on an Escape to the Chateau fan club page when I saw this advert. I messaged Nick the advert. Curiosity got the better of him and he went and arranged a viewing. With the instructions from me, I trust your judgment. If you think I'll like it, put in an offer. The offer was accepted and we finally got the keys on the 10th of June 2021. Join us and our dogs, Merlot and Flora, as we renovate our Maison de Maitre. Sunday evening, I've just finished editing this week's video. Everything's up and ready to go. And I've decided to come and start on a job that I don't particularly want to do again. You'll remember I went through this pile of kitchen boxes probably just over a month ago, but I'm going to have to go back through all of these boxes to pull out things that we'll need for the gite, for the kitchen, and also things that I'm going to need for Christmas, like serving dishes for the table and things like that. So I'm not looking forward to this because it's all really quite neat and pleasant, and I'm just about to go. Yeah, let's see how I go with this then. Before, so helpful. Merry tune from Sharky. Well, a good few hours later and I've managed to pull out everything that you would need to equip a gite with. Also, I've managed to pull out things that I've needed for Christmas Day, like matching plates, knives and forks, because we've never had enough of them out. Everything's restacked, just about. I've got a couple of boxes to go through in the morning, no biggie. But I'm glad that that's done because it's been one of those things that I've kind of been a bit like dreading for the last few weeks. Hey ho, yay.
Well, back in the gite. Look. So the electrician's been here today and connected up electricity to the gite. Look at this. This is a bathroom. Yay! Kitchen. Yay! Living room. Yay! And those lights are plugged into the socket that's over there. Hot water tank is heating up. So in a couple of hours might be hot water here. Ow, towel radiator's hot. Look at this mirror. Ooh. Ooh. So anyway, obviously the electrician has done his work. Haven't found any problems with anything I've done. Just one, but we won't go into that. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. You might notice down here, I've drawn a couple of circles. So when I was fitting sockets around the room, I would drill, where I've drawn a couple of circuits, that's where the wires would be, so I need to drill to connect all the wires together. Might have forgotten to do that one, which means we are short of a socket down there. That's okay. I think I have spares anyway. It's not a major thing as long as the white is behind the wall there. Anyhow, apart from that, way. So this whole thing of I can't carry on anymore because it's got dark. So now we're going to notice a great speeding up of the work here. Well, the second fill that I put on the joint seems to have actually gone off. It wasn't very deep, it's gone off overnight. It stayed quite warm in here with all this insulation, it should do. So that's all good. So anyway, what it means is I can get on and just give it a very light sanding down, just along all the joints that I redid, and that should be it, and then decorating can commence. It's a good look. Anyway, I have finished sanding, had a quick sweep up, and I'm reasonably confident I've seen everything I need to do, and that part of the work is finished. Not the end of the world. If anything is spotted down the line, it will be attended to. But for now, when it comes to jointing, taping, sanding, filling, taping, jointing, sanding, filling, job done. I've just diluted some paint, and I'm going to give the walls and ceiling a first undercoat of paint. So yeah, making progress. Given everywhere in here a quick undercoat of white paint, and some on myself as well. No harm in that. So anyway, yeah, it's been quite a productive day really. Yeah, quite pleased with that. So let's see what tomorrow brings.
I've just popped into the Maison de Maitre, and I'm just in the ground floor, and I'm in the entrance hallway. And one of the jobs that I'm going to do this week, at the bottom of the big long staircase, is this big wide open gap. Now for over Christmas, and just to try and keep it warm in here, I'm going to make a curtain to go over the bottom of the stairs. The problem is, I'm going to have to make this curtain because I haven't found anywhere that sells curtains that are this long. It's about 3.5 meters tall and about 2 meters wide. But I think if we cover this entrance to the staircase, it should keep quite a lot of heat in. Otherwise, what heat we do put into the building is just going to disappear up the staircase. It's not a problem. There's always a solution. I've just never made a pair of curtains monumentally this size. I went out and I bought this a couple of weeks ago. It's an 8 meter long piece of fabric that I'm going to cut into 2 halves, and I'm going to kind of go from there with it. It's a really thick, almost like a blackout curtain material, but I'm hoping that just with that curtain up, it'll hold a lot more of the heat in. Here goes. That's both sets of curtains now finished and ready to go up. It's quite exciting. It's my proper first pair of curtains. Ooh, I think I did quite well making them. I shall record this momentous occasion of the curtains.
Raise the curtain!
Raise the curtains! Oh. You touching your rod?
Oh.
My, what a big one, love. Hi. Look at the craftsmanship.
I know, I'm actually wondering which high quality shop you paid to make these for us.
I know. Off up the ladder you go. Place the bed cell. Curtains done, and instantly it feels totally tropical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well done, darling. They look magnificent.
They do. For a first attempt, hell yes.
Okay, back in the Jeep today. The undercoat of paint that I put on yesterday, that had all obviously dried because it's very light coat. I've this morning just been over the ceiling again with normal undiluted paint. Still a bit patchy, so I'm going to need to do another coat, as you can see up there. And I need to do the cutting in all round the edge. Now the beauty of it is at this point is I don't need to be neat, because Claire's going to come along and paint the walls a different colour. So I can get away with. So that's what I'm doing now. Well, that was fairly straightforward. I'm going to leave it all now just for a little while, and then I think one more coat on the ceiling should be enough. Not really showing up on camera, but yeah, got a white ceiling now. It's all done. I think when it goes dry, I think it's all done. We'll see. Bound to be a little patch here or there that I've missed, but for now, woo woo, job done. Which means I think I can push up all of these lights to where they belong in the ceiling. There we go. Ceiling. Okay. Still haven't done this bit here. Still need to do a permanent loft hatch. But I think, apart from that, ceiling is finished. Yay! Woo, woo, woo. So,
Good morning, and this morning I am in between the Maison de Maitre and our side of the house, in the in-betweeny area, in the room with the mural, with the stairs that go down to the cellar, and I'm about to start painting for this week. This week, I see a lot of paint in my future. Starting with this. So I have my paint, and I have my skirting boards ready for the gite. So the first thing I'm going to do this morning is give these a good lick of grey paint. While my skirting boards are drying, I am back in the temporary dining room, and what I'm about to do is I am about to give the walls a whitewash in paint. I'm doing this because where I've taken all of the plaster back, it's going to be like super absorbent, sponge-like. So I have my gooey blub 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 wash. Yeah, and, being graphic, I'm gonna have at it. So I'm gonna start up here and I'm gonna go around and I want to do the top of the room. At the same time, I'm gonna have the odd break here and there, and I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna repaint the skirting boards. Multitasking. Yeah. I've come down the ladder. I'm 25 minutes into doing this whitewash, and Nick suggested that I do this whitewash because in the other bedroom that we've already completed, when he started rollering the walls, the plaster came off the walls. Now, I'm not convinced with this whitewash stuff because I'm going to be really blunt, it's pissing me off. I'm sorry for swearing, but it is. It's going everywhere. It's just a dripping, crappy mess. Where I'm applying it to the wall, it's going on the wall and it's sticking fine. So, I'm going to make a decision here, because I'm doing it, nobody else is. I'm going to go with white. I'm just going to paint it white. I'm not going to bother with this bloody wash business. On my head. So, time to ditch this rubbish. New. I also just want to say, and you've probably noticed that when I painted the kitchen, I didn't use a roller. The reason being, I hate rollers because paint, it spatters, it goes everywhere. Look at my hand, right? If I could, I would paint the world with a 2-inch brush because you've got more control of it and it doesn't drip. If it drips, you can see it and go, ooh. I'll go for a cup of coffee. Sometimes you just need to have a minute just to walk away. A few hours later, and I've calmed down a bit now. I am using the paint roller, but it's working. Look. Just doing a coat of white, quite a thick coat of white. It works. It's just the heater kicking in. I'm going to keep going. Finishing for the day now in this room. I've done most of the walls. Ooh. But the problem that I've got now, I've actually run out of paint. No! Oh well, on to tomorrow. But I have finished the skirting boards. Yay!
I'm back in the gite and just wanted to share what I've been doing with you for the last couple of days. I've been quite nervous about doing this job because, well, to be quite honest, reading the instruction booklets was a semi-waste of time. I don't know who wrote them, but they're kind of the instructions that you write for people that already know what they're doing, not for somebody that's never touched one of these products apart from via a remote control. So what have I been doing? Let me Well, I got this box fitted. Look, the flappy thing is moving. And what you can't tell, dirty fingers. Anyway, what you can't tell is there is heat blowing out of there, and that is connected to this box. Alright, I know you don't normally get them connected up with pipe work like that, but that's how kind of unsure of things I was. But I've connected it all up. That's blowing out icy cold air. I have sprayed that on connections and I don't think I've got any leaks. And all that cold air is turning this into warm air in here and it's blowing out. I don't actually believe it. I didn't think it was going to work. The instructions they have, oh, you need to do this and you need to do that. This was actually relatively straightforward. It just took me a long time to work it out. So anyway, I've got heating in here, and I remember this summer when it was 40 degrees outside, this little gadget will also be air conditioning, so you might find me in here taking advantage of coolness. But anyway, for now, for this winter, for the imminent arrival of visitors, my parents who are going to stay in here, they've got warmth. Yay! Okay, so now I've got this heating unit all working. I'm gonna just spend a little bit of time now, finish off the boxing. I've got jointing tape like I did for the rest of the room, joint all the joints and put the filler compound thingy on there, let that go off overnight, and I'll have a look at that tomorrow and see what I need to do with it then. But it's nice to have it warm in here, properly warm. Well, that's all I can do for this evening. So all the joints are now taped, filled. I'm going to let that set possibly just overnight, possibly 2 nights, and then I'm going to work on it a bit more, make sure it's all blended in quite nicely, and once that's all done, get it painted. That should be it. So anyway, all for tonight. I think I need to go and wash my hands.
Morning. You with your toy in bed? You've had a sleep in. It's time to get up now. I know, I don't like mornings too. Day 2 of painting the temporary dining room white, and I went out yesterday and I went and got some paint. Paint's topped up. I've only got a little patch left to go. I'm hoping it's not going to take me long, because then I can get the roller tray cleaned and I can go and paint in the gite. Ooh. All finished now. Woohoo! And on to the next job.
Well, I'm in the gite. I've turned the heating off because I'm about to do some of the sanding of the filler that I put in around the top there. I don't want it to go and block up the filters in the brand new heater there. So I've turned that off. Probably cover that with a little dust sheet and then yeah, get sanding, a bit more filler. Well, I've just opened the door and window to try and let this dust in the air flush through. You can't really tell on camera, but the couple of bobbly bits that I'd left last night are smoothed off. There's a little bit that I can't actually get the sander into. I'm going to need to do by hand, but okay, well, I've just touched up a few places with a bit more filler. That needs to go off. That won't be done today. So it won't take long, it'll only take a couple of minutes once it's dry, but it just needs a little final sand and then it can be painted. But yeah, time to get this dust cover off and get the heating back on, I think. So in the Maison de Maitre, in what will be the Christmas Day dining room, one of the things that we would like to have whilst we're having our Christmas lunch is a nice roaring log fire in the fireplace here. Don't know when it was last used, don't know when it was last swept, so that's going to be my job today, is get it all swept, make sure we're not going to have a chimney fire, make sure it all works properly. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Well, I've shoved that all up the chimney, the brush and all those lengths of rod, and well, I'm going to zoom in to that chimney there and show you what's poking out the top. There's my brush. So I know that the passageway is clear. Not a lot of stuff came out of that chimney, so it may well have been swept before and then never used since. But anyway, I'm not going to take any chances. Don't want a chimney fire. So what I'm going to do, now I've got that all the way up there, pull it back down, get it out of the way, and then light a fire and put my special log on. Ooh, my special log. So that will harden any other deposits that are within the chimney lining, and then when I sweep it again, those will break off easier. Well, there we have the first fire lit in here since who knows when. And currently all the smoke's going up the chimney. That's good. A little feature of these chimneys is this, which you can raise or lower, which changes the amount of draw. So I've lowered that down and straight away more of the air is being forced through the fire, so it's going to sort of turbocharge it just for a little bit. Or you can now open it up, in which case you see more of it. Okay, so I'm going to let that get going for a little while, and then I'm going to stick my magic log on there and see what happens.
Ooh, so now it's my turn here in the gite, and I've come in here to paint the walls. I know last week when I was painting the kitchen, or the week before, I said I don't like beige. Well, I don't like beige. However, in the case of this eventually being a rental property, I've decided to go with cream, a colour called Cancun Matte, which is a kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, multi-support paint. Yeah, I've gone for this colour because it's also something that you can buy again and that you can touch up pretty well. It's non-offensive, you can put another colour with it. So in this case, beige cream is acceptable. I hope I have enough of this. I have 4 tubs. I have 4 2.5 litre tubs that apparently do 30 metres squared. I have not calculated this because I cannot be bothered. I'm just going to have at it. So here goes. I think I am going to start in the kitchen area and then hopefully this can get dried first for Nick. Boom. Off we go.
It's been about an hour that I've had this fire lit, so time to chuck on the magic log. Okay, so I'm going to leave that well alone now. Let that fire go out. So leave it a few hours and come back in and give it another brush with this time the metal brush. So for now, leave it alone.
The end of the day, yay! I have done 2 coats everywhere, 2 coats of cutting in, 2 coats on the walls. I've also done a touch up here and there. I've left my paint out overnight, all wrapped up, so I can just pop back in here tomorrow morning and just double check it again because it's pitch black outside. Time for a shower, yay!
So this is now the day after I lit the fire and put the log in, so well, I'll give the chimney a sweep and see if anything else comes out. Well, there's a little bit of dust just really close to the fireplace here, so well, I shoved that one up and nothing really there to come out. So I think my suspicions that they had it cleaned and then just didn't use it from then on, or maybe only used it a couple of times. I think that's right. Anyway, I'm happy. It's a clean chimney. We can light a nice roaring fire in here and not have to call the pompier out. So yeah, good job done.
Today I am back in the dining room and I am about to start sanding the floor in here. I've sanded a patch there, but then my husband chucked some glycerol from a radiator onto there, and I'm just going to work my way around the room and I'm going to see how far I get today. I'm hoping to get the whole thing done. I can see sweet FA, but I have all of my safety equipment on and I have my chosen sander for the day. Let us begin. Sanders are ready. Haha.
Father-in-law's come to give us a hand today.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he has. What we're doing, oh, you can't really see it in that. We're going round. There's a number of doors in the place that just need a bit shaving off them. It's just a bit sticky, you know, when you pull it, it just. So we've got one to the cleaning cupboard we've done, one to the sausage factory we've done, and we come to this door here, which is into the in-between room between the Maison de Maitre and the, our side of the house. It's just sticky in it a little bit, but we're not going to be able to get this one off of its hinges very easily, so we're going to try and fix it in situ. So father-in-law's got his plane ready. He's trying to work out how to plug it in.
Get the damn plug in. Got it.
So yeah, here we go. He's getting to work.
Explain it would be easier to take.
It would be much easier to take the door off, but
We can't take the door off.
yeah.
Well, it just wants. Well, that's nearly there. Isn't it? It just wants that tiny touch at the top.
It does.
You'll have to sand it.
Okay, I'll get my sander.
Oh, should it?
It's still.
What?
I don't know that it's just there though. I think there's a bit here.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Actually feels better than it was.
But it's.
Well, it's not got the same resistance as it did. So
You go and stand outside.
well, when you shut it from the inside, you can see up the crack.
Yeah, you have a look at the top. The door's bent. Can you see? Bent there, Nick. Look. I don't see anything wrong with
I think that's well, it is better.
Good as you're gonna
better
get.
than it was. So I think. So my learned friend assures me that's as good as we're going to get today, isn't it?
Yep. Definitely.
Do you think he wants to go somewhere warm?
Yeah, I think we should have a whiskey. Definitely. I'm going to text.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying it's not quite midday yet.
Anybody in Texas who wants to take me in for the winter is quite well.
Am I saying this because I mean Well, when they turned up here an hour or so ago, it was only just over 1 degree when they turned up. So it's a bit chilly. There's a bit of a breeze outside. So with wind chill, it's freezing.
Well,
I don't miss 35, 40 degrees. I'd much rather have that.
yeah, I would as well.
Yeah.
Well, 4.5 hours later, and I have just finished sanding the floor by hand. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Sorry, my enthusiasm's not great today. I just kind of realised that I'm sanding and doing this floor, which it does need doing, but I'm going to put a rug down on it. But the floor needs doing anyway, so at least it's sanded. It's really dusty in here now. Just to give you an idea just exactly how dusty it is, here is one of my socks. You can actually draw in the dust. La, 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 la. Ah, lovely. So my next step for today is to leave this room, and I'm going to pop into the gite and just go and see that all of the paint's dried nicely and any final touch-up that needs doing can be done. And then I might go for a shower. Just to give you a final look of the floor for today. It's very dusty. A lot brighter than the wall panelling, but I have to wait and see what happens next. I've come out to the hen house today because I'm giving the ladies' pen a good clean out before Christmas and a good refresh of all the hay and straw. But I've also come, I've come to make their little coop house, try and make it a little bit warmer, because now the nights are starting to get to minus temperatures, and I thought if I was out here and I was a hen, I'd want to be a little bit warmer. I've cleaned out the little nest box and I put some regular hay in, put a bit more in there. But to make it extra warmer, I've also got them some meadow hay, and I thought that would be a bit more insulation for them. I know that the hens are meant to be outdoors and this, that and the other, but still, don't want them to be cold. There we go. Lovely warm bedding. And then the final thing I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap a knackered old towel and some old pillowcases just over the top, just to kind of give it a bit more insulation for them. Oh, what do you think? Oh, you want to go on top? What lady doesn't? Thank you for the eggs. So there we go. Hopefully we've got some warm, happy hens for winter. This morning I'm in our side of the house And while I've got out this Cancun beigey, stony, mushroomy coloured paint, I'm going around the ceiling and the walls of our bathroom. It's a really old, tired bathroom. I'm sure you've seen it before. There's my bottom in the mirror. Hello. We get a lot of problems with damp in this side of the house. The only windows that you can open are facing onto the road. We do open them as much as possible, but with the heating being on and off, the bathroom being at this side of the shower, we do get a lot of problems with damp and a lot of problems with mould. We've got dehumidifiers running, we've got dehumidifier boxes, and they just fill up quickly with water. If you Google something along the lines of damp in houses in the Charente or damp in houses in the Dordogne, it'll come up with lots of things that tell you all about it. So it's not just an us problem. And there's so many things in the shops you can buy to try and eradicate it, but it's just not working. So I think it's just time just to try and, well, get rid of some of the mould and give this a quick lick of paint just before Christmas. A bit minging. Just after half an hour of doing a quick look of this paint, it's bringing it up really nice and bright. I've also painted the back of the doorway because it was wallpapered. Yeah, here's a bit that, to give you a bit of a contrast. This is one coat of paint, and then I've not done this area yet. So this window doesn't open and it goes into the strange box room at the back of the bathroom. The extractor fan works, but it's probably older than me. Yeah, so we do get a lot of mould, and even though you clean it, sometimes it doesn't clean. So this is an extreme of just going, haha, mould. Quick hour-long job, done. Yes, I have got paint on my head, but that's nothing unusual for me. I'm gonna let it dry, or try and let it dry. I think I'll start by putting, I don't know, heated towel rail or extractor. But yeah, I'm going to come back, leave it for a couple of hours, come back, see if it needs touching up anywhere. It will do round the window, and go from there. Thank you, Flora. Well, I'm in here. I'm in our bedroom to quickly show you that I do have the window open. This is our electric dehumidifier, and this is the amount of water that's taken out of the room for 2 days. So with this one, we're up to about here, and after about 5 days, it does fill, and you have to empty it. And this is in our hallway area, and this is another type of dehumidifier. This is about a week's worth of water. Yummy. I also have these little boxes that are about £1 or €1, and they suck up the water quite well. The problem is that when you get damp in here as well, I've been finding that it also kind of goes onto any leather goods that you've got that aren't protected. I'm going to give you a very good for instance here, and I come round and I try and have a look at everything once every now and again. So this is a pair of flip-flops. Look at the bottom, where they're leather, they get just covered in mould, and you've got to go around and check your handbags if you have any precious handbags, and you've also got to check shoes. It wipes off, but with some of them you can get to the point where it just goes too far, and yeah, you want to save stuff. Second coat finished, job done. This week I've also managed to get our Christmas tree up in the living room at our side of the house. This is my favourite Christmas tree. I've been collecting baubles for years for the Nightmare Before Christmas. So it's my Nightmare Before Christmas tree.
welcome to Wine of the Week. You may or may not hear us. Merlot's running around with a toy at the moment.
It's his turkey toy from last year, but headless.
I confiscated it a year ago for the very reason you can probably imagine.
I took it off the bush this week. Come here.
Anyway, we've had a productive week again.
Definitely a productive week. I think with 11 days and 20 hours left to go until our first visitors arrive.
Will we make it?
Will we make it? You're going to have to keep watching.
Because we don't know yet.
Because we don't know yet either. Anyway, this week's wine I may have opened last night.
You may have done. You did.
Just to taste it.
And you had a taste.
But this is a very lovely, brewery red wine. And I think it came from a little special. It's a silver medal, and I think it was about €6.
About that, yeah.
So, here goes. Ladies first.
You tasted it last night, so you know it's all right.
I
But it
did.
was last night.
It was last night, unless it's gone excessively vinegary.
Cheers.
Cheers. Here's to you making dinner tonight, because I can't read the instructions on the back of the packet because it's all in French. And we've only got 11 minutes to go until the kick-off.
England-France are playing. So by now you'll know the result.
Yeah.
But they're almost playing, so
Cheers.
yes, cheers. If you've enjoyed this week's episode, please hit the like button.
And if you've not already done so, please hit subscribe. It really does help us. You can also find more about us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. For some reason I was going to say TripAdvisor, but we're not there yet. Or you can find out more on our website at
www.theexpatbutchers.com.
This is the culprit.
Yeah, I think it might be going away again. Anyway, love to stay in chat, but
thanks for watching and we'll see you next Sunday.
Bye.
Cheers.